Hello everyone, Franklin here, coming to you today from my apartment in Paris, not in my workroom as I would have hoped, but from the room that most of my friends here refer to as the salon. However, myself, I am unable to refer to it as the salon because, let's be honest, I was born in a small town outside of Pittsburgh. So even living in Paris, I have a living room. This is my living room. Welcome to it. And as you can see from the decor behind me, I'm in the process of unpacking. In fact, I have been in the process of unpacking for the better part of a week and a few days, and I'm not complaining about that. It was a very, very happy day when my ship quite literally came in and my things arrived in Paris. That is a whole story for another vlog. I have so much to show you already today, but I will show you the moving in process, which was kind of amazing. However, once everything is in, then I have to find places for it, and that's going to take a little while. So I'm delighted to have my things here. I'm super excited that they arrived in good condition. However, it will be awfully nice to see the floor in the workroom again, I hope, sometime soon. And also it will be nice to have a day that does not revolve around large cardboard boxes and lots and lots and lots of packing paper. So, but I can't complain on the whole. Things are actually going pretty swimmingly here. But I was tired of not having vlogged for you, so here I am today. However, you may have already said to yourself, I thought this was a knitting vlog, and then said to yourself, so why is that guy not knitting? Because I'm not. You'll notice idle hands, no knitting in the hands, which is probably a little unusual for a knitting vlog, but I can tell you about my knitting. Remember the last episode? I was knitting a sock, the sock that was my comfort and travel project all through the moving process and the traveling process and the arriving process. So I finished that. It came out well. I would love to show it to you if I could find it. I'm just not sure where it is right now. It's in here somewhere. Could be under my chair. Don't know. But I know it's in here somewhere. Came out well. It fits real pretty. And I can show you the second sock as well. So here's the second sock. Yeah, so not really anything on the knitting front to report to you because, again, unpacking. So much unpacking. Why do I have so much stuff? I got rid of more than half of what I owned to move here, and this says to me that I used to have way too much stuff, and now I still just have way too much stuff. But we'll get there. We'll get there, right? And I'll get back to knitting because it's kind of driving me nuts not really having the time to knit anything. Been doing lots of exciting things. Real happy to be here. Just not knitting a whole lot yet. So anyway, I'm going to stop complaining about that and tell you what I do have to show you today, provided you haven't already tuned out. You're still there, right? Please still be there. You are? Okay, good. So I have been in Paris at this point for about 6 weeks, and they have been 6 very exciting weeks. And the excitement started when I was fresh off the plane. If you can describe me as I was getting off that plane as being fresh. I'm sure I didn't smell very fresh. However, it was said to me on my first evening in Paris that, there is going to be a knitting show in Lyon in a couple of weeks, and you should go. And I said, oh, yes, please. Yes, I would very, very much like to go to a knitting show in Lyon. And I had never been to Lyon. I had been to many knitting shows, but never one in France. And also, it was a chance to just go. I would not be teaching. I would not be vending. I would not be signing books. I would simply be able to go to the knitting show as a civilian as it were, except that I did plan on sort of taking you all with me by making a video about the entire trip. And Lyon and the show did not disappoint. The show itself is a recurring event, I'm happy to say, and it is called Knit Eat Lyon. So, after that rambling introduction, I would like to show you my visit to Lyon and my time at Knit Eat Lyon in 2021 and what they were like. My journey began at the Gare de Lyon. Belle Époque elegance outside, efficient modernity inside. This was my first trip through the French countryside, and my first ride in one of France's famous TGV, Train de Grande Vitesse. That means high-speed train. It sounds so much more exciting in French. About 2 hours later, we were pulling into Lyon. It's a beautiful city at the confluence of two rivers, the Rhône and the Saône. Much of the city center dates from the 19th century and looks a lot like Paris. That much I expected. What I did not expect was what I found on the other side of this sweet red footbridge. The neighborhood of Vieux Lyon, or Old Lyon. The colorful buildings along these twisting streets mostly date back to the Middle Ages and the Renaissance. Everywhere you look, there's something intriguing, some beautiful surprise. I took my walk through Vieux Lyon in the early morning when there were very few people out, aside from shopkeepers and residents preparing for the day. I honestly got dizzy from spinning around trying to take it all in. I could have stayed all day, but before I knew it, it was time to head over to Knit Eat. This was my first yarn show since Stitches West in 2020, just a few weeks before COVID shut everything down. And it felt good to be back. I'm going to hush up and let the show mostly speak for itself.
I'm Anna Vasco, coming from Finland, and this is Aurinkokehrä, so it means like sunspun or something like that. It's also a double meaning for the circle of the sun. So we play with the words, and this is all naturally dyed Finnish worsted wool. So it's a very small company in worldwide organizations, and the wool comes from small farms in Finland. And, yeah, this book is a project from last year. It's in Finnish, but it's about wool and dyeing and different projects. So this is with woad. We have a new production of woad in Finland, and then there's Nordic designs from Iceland, and she's a designer from Iceland visiting for the book, and then different designers in Finland. And this is then my different trials. So you can see here, like the idea is coming from these.
Yes. Oh, wonderful.
I hope it's coming in English. I'm just relying on the publisher. She has done some to find a English publisher.
Fantastic.
They have done parts of the translation, so it's available to read a bit, and then.
Oh, that's lovely. Well, thank you so much for talking to me today, and have a great show.
Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much.
J'ai dit à Terra, mais je ne pas trouver dans le camion. Il y en a d'autres qui l'ont trouvé.
Les couleurs, ouais. Un peu clair. Et les explications, et si vous avez un souci, vous allez avoir le melon. Oui, mais c'est vrai. J'aime bien. C'est là que ça va, la barbe de Merlin. Je sais pas où elle est, mais. La barbe de Merlin, elle est. Là, ouais. Ça, c'est pareil, tu vois, c'est pas mal. Quand même. C'est dingue. C'est dingue, bonjour.
veulent pas dire que le vaccin est efficace, tout ça, donc c'est bon de dire que... Voilà, donc j'étais ravie. Donc du coup, j'entends pas un petit peu moins.
Alors, ce sont tous des laines du Limousin et du Poitou. Le Limousin, c'est le centre de la France. J'achète directement la laine aux éleveurs. Ensuite, je fais un tri. Je la fais laver au centre de la France aussi et travailler dans des filatures en Creuse, donc dans mon département. Là, ce sont des laines, c'est de la brebis rouge de l'Ouest qui est mélangée avec de la brebis solognotte. Donc vous avez cette couleur rousse avec ce jarre. Là, c'est un fil qui s'appelle tourbe. C'est quelques moutons noirs que l'on retrouve dans les troupeaux de race blanche. Donc de la Texel, de la Suffolk, de la rouge de l'Ouest aussi. Comme mon mari est tondeur, on peut récolter 10 toisons, 10 toisons, 10 toisons. Alors quelques-unes des fois sont du gris au chocolat un petit peu soutenu. Et ça fait un fil qui est très nuancé. Là, il y a un chiné, donc avec deux fils écrus et un fil tourbe, comme ceci. Là, c'est pareil, avec une base de rouge de l'Ouest et de la tourbe. Ce sont tous des fils retors. Et là, c'est un fil qui est issu de la brebis limousine. C'est la brebis typique du plateau de Mille Vaches, au sud d'Aubusson. C'est une brebis très rustique qui entretient très bien les paysages. C'est des zones qui sont très pauvres de landes et de tourbières. Et par contre, c'est une laine qui est très grossière, donc on l'a travaillée comme une laine islandaise en fait. Un fil mèche avec très peu de retors pour garder du gonflant et de la douceur. Voilà. Et c'est tout. Donc il y a des brebis qui sont blanches et d'autres qui sont noires avec des taches. Et ça permet d'avoir deux niveaux de gris.
Merci beaucoup.
Je vous en prie.
Merci beaucoup, madame.
The riverside location of the show at the Embroidery offered relaxing places to lunch, along the water and under the trees of the neighboring park. Lyon is famous even in France for its outstanding food, and the food vendors at Knit Eat, emphasis on the eat part, were, how do I even express this? So it's lunchtime now, or time for a little snack, and yeah, the yarn is beautiful, the fiber is beautiful, as I hope you've seen, but let me show you this too. This, do you see this? This is what vendor food looks like at a yarn show in France. This is the kind of food that you stand in line for when you go to a yarn show, to a knitting show in Lyon. American yarn shows, get better food. Get better food. Please get better food. Look at this. It's like a work of art. I'm in love. And now I'm going to eat it. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. This is so good. So good. After lunch, I was thrilled to sit in on an awesome class taught by Rüdiger Schlömer, the author of Typeknitting, one of my favorite knitting books of recent years. And then, too soon, isn't it always too soon? It was time to head back to Paris. Not that heading back to Paris is such a bad thing. Knit Eat Lyon was an impressive show. Americans would find it to be on the small side, perhaps, but the quality and diversity in the marketplace was first rate. I wanted to buy sweater quantities of everything I saw. There was a definite emphasis on environmental responsibility, of knowing where the raw materials in the yarn had come from and how they were turned into yarn. A focus on the ways that knitting and crochet affect world ecosystems and local economies was extremely evident, and I was so happy to see it. I think that's the direction that textile arts as a whole really needs to take. And so there you have it. My first visit to Lyon, my first time riding in a TGV, and my first knitting show in France. And also my first time returning home to Paris, which was a very strange feeling, let me tell you. I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope to see you again soon, next time with knitting in my hands. And until then, take care of yourselves. I hope you love whatever it is that you're knitting, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. While you're here, why not subscribe to my channel? Please like, share, comment, all that good stuff. Helps me keep the channel going. You might even like to join my Patreon campaign at patreon.com/FranklinHabit, where I shower my patrons with all kinds of goodies.